Now, a fresh look at today's top stories and what people are talking about in America's finest city. It's Inside San Diego.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Body image expert Sarah Maria is here. She's going to share how you can love the body you have and break free from the feelings that you aren't thin enough or tall enough, young enough, or beautiful enough. And she has a new DVD. It's Love Your Body Now. Good morning to you, Sarah.
Good morning.
First of all, tell me about why this issue is so close to your heart. You had a personal experience with body image. Tell us about that.
Yeah. When I was about 14, around there, I went on a 500 calorie a day diet, turned into anorexia. From that, it turned into bulimia. And I really struggled with feeling good about my body. It was a real struggle. And when I finally broke free from the feelings of, that I wasn't good enough, it became my passion and my mission to share that with other people and show people it's possible.
To help people understand how a 14-year-old can look at themselves and say, I don't like the body I'm in. I mean, most of us think they're so young at that age. They haven't developed enough. What goes through the minds of a 14-year-old or you as a 14-year-old to say, I need to stop eating. I don't look right.
Yeah, it's, and a lot of people can't understand it unless they've been through something like that. The brain becomes fixed on the belief that, I'm not good enough. And the eyes, you look in the mirror and in my case, oh, my butt is too large or my thighs are too flabby. Even though it's not real to the person viewing it, it's real. And so it becomes their reality.
And so in order to change this and redirect it, I know images, media images, all the things that we see, magazines, things like that contribute to that. How do we get people to stop looking at that and say, that's what I need to look like? How do we change that perception?
Great. On an individual level, I've developed a 5-step process. So I can go through that very quickly. The first step is be willing to change. Be willing to love the body you have.
That can be very difficult for a young girl as they're developing. They see all of the other girls their age and, some, especially these days, are dressing differently, things like that. How do you do that? How do you say, well, I don't have to look at myself the way every other girl in my school looks at themselves?
Right. Well, the first is to be willing, be open to changing. The second is to identify and detach from negative thoughts. So these are the thoughts that when you look in the mirror, I'm too fat or my thighs are too flabby. To identify those as thoughts,
right, and
then realize that you don't need to listen to them. Key part of this is the third step, to connect with your inner silence through the process of meditation.
What is that? What is inner silence?
Great.
Then?
Through the process of meditation, connecting with your stillness, you realize that you're not your thoughts. You can choose which thoughts to listen to. So the thought, I'm not thin enough, you can identify that and then decide, okay, I'm going to replace that with a better thought.
Now, girls I know have these thoughts. Boys, you never hear them talk about these or rarely talk about it. What is it about being a woman or being a girl that makes us think differently about ourselves than men usually do?
Well, I think there's much more pressure on women to look a certain way, and their sense of self-worth is tied much more into how they look. That said, it is a growing issue for a number of men that the number of male eating disorders is on the rise. But on the whole, women have more of their identity invested in how they look in this culture.
So we need to change that culture.
Exactly, and that's part of, as everyone learns to look at themselves with love and to see their own beauty, that's how the culture begins to change. That's how we can begin to change the images that are in the media, the way people talk about their bodies, the way we as a society
So for mothers,
do it.
Stop comparing your daughter to the women that you see on magazines and things like that, but maybe talk about the things she does versus the outside of who she is.
Exactly, and the most important thing mothers can do is learn to love their own bodies, because many mothers look in the mirror and say, oh, I'm too fat, I need to go on a diet. That translates directly to the child.
Right.
So that's it. And the fourth step, befriend the body. Our bodies are wonderful, amazing creations. Fifth step, I help people learn to live their purpose. So in my coaching, my seminars, I lead people through the 5-step processes. They can find out more on my website, which is breakfreebeauty.com. Right. I think there's going to be a link on your site as well.
We'll put one on KUS5.com.
Fabulous. So yeah, it's breakfreebeauty.com. And
some great advice. Focus on other things in your life.
Yeah, and loving the body you have.
Love your body now. All right. Sarah Maria, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to talk with you. A rough day.